Good morning, puppers. Do you know what today is? Do you feel like you have grown? I believe the 2-year mark is when, oh, man, still sounding like a man. But I believe the 2-year mark is when dogs are officially adults. So she is no longer a puppers, but I love that nickname for her, so I'm gonna keep calling her that. Time to let her out. Break. Go ahead. So I wanted to demonstrate really quick what her bathroom break routine looks like now that I've moved here. And I don't know, I just think it's really cool because there are so many benefits to having a dog that listens to you. And I always just think it is impressive. So here we go. Sitting before we go out. Still sitting. Break. Good. Go potty. Good. Let's go. Good job. What a good birthday girl, huh? Someone's watching me take a piss. It is so beautiful over here. Oh my God. And you hear the birds chirping and everything? It's just peace everywhere. Nature, beautiful. I am a little bit concerned because there are a fuckload of cars in the parking lot. Like so much more than I expected for a freaking weekday afternoon. It's like 11 a.m. actually. And I was hoping that since it's a weekday, everyone's at work, but people are here. I kind of forgot her leash actually, so I just hope someone doesn't bitch about that. Look at this bad girl not coming back. Come. Good. Good job. Good girl. Break. Good. I think the parents are the ones in the back. So I need to make sure Rylai keeps her distance. I don't want them to feel threatened in any way. This is their natural habitat. Good girl. Baby cows. I put her in a sit, so she should not be coming over. But or so cute. Good. Rylai is still holding it. Poor girl, left out. Stood up and now it's looking at us. We're not gonna go anywhere at this rate. All right, what the hell, man? There are so many people on this trail. I mean, normally passing them by is okay, but for a period back there were these 2 women taking pictures, and then right when I got to them, they started proceeding forward in the same direction I was going. And I guess maybe other people don't care about being around people like I do, but if I'm hiking, I don't like being around other parties. And, you know, they could have timed it so that they hung around the tree and let me pass. Like, obviously, I'm one person and I have Rylai with me, so my pacing is definitely going to be faster than these other people, and I would rather just go ahead and pass them so we have some buffer between us. And I did eventually just go past, but sometimes I get so curious about what these people are thinking. Passed by one dog so far. It was a single solo male jogging with his dog who was on a harness. I just went off the trail, and actually I see some people ahead, so I'm going to try to keep this out. Hey. Good. Stay with me. People up ahead. Hug the right side. Fuck. Stay on the right. Come on. Hi. Good job. Okay, go ahead. Good. Oh, God. That was a little nerve-wracking. They had 3 dogs with them, and the trail was like stuff like that on the side, so I couldn't go anywhere else. So I pretty much just hugged the right side, and they passed on the left, and luckily none of their dogs lunged because they had quite a bit of leash length, so they could have maybe made that situation much worse. Back to the car. Brake. Good. Yeah, go. Brake. Good. Look at where I am. This is some desert view point in Julian, and I'm actually so glad I found this area because I bought some pie from the Julian Pie Company, and I'm going to sit here looking out at this and enjoy eating it. Okay, time to indulge in my pie. Good girl. So I got the same peach apple crumb pie as last time, so hopefully I don't get any crumbs in my car. Gotta be careful. This is so big. Oh God. Oh God. So hopefully by the time I'm done with this pie, everyone is gone, and then I can get a nice picture with Rylai without anybody around. Oh, oh God. Damn it. I got some crumbs out. Ugh, whatever. Break. Good. I can't get this thing down right now. Come on. Oh. Poppers, sit. Good girl. Oh man, it's getting cold. So windy. Oh man. This is going to have to be my new background. I feel like I've been busy all morning and driving and just trying to find all these nice locations. So I'm still parked near the desert, and since I am what I suppose to be in a place where I feel like I can be calm and let down my guard here, just because I'm not familiar with this area, and I actually wanted to go driving around the neighborhoods, but there are so many private property roads that show up on the GPS, and it is kind of annoying to drive and anticipate making a turn and then being like, oh shit, this is not actually private, it's not actually a public road, so I can't go on it. And I just decided to stop here instead, to catch my breath, because I wanted to kind of de-stress from earlier. So on the hike, I did come across quite a bit of people. And then while I was on the way back, a ranger drove out and pretty much scolded me for not having her on a leash. We were in a really narrow area, actually one of the pretty much the only narrow places of that hike, and he was driving one of those big trucks. So I had to grab her collar, and we were standing on the side, and he pretty much asked me if I had a leash, and he was reiterating the law or the rule that dogs need to be on a leash. And I showed him my remote, and I told him stuff like, she is fully off-leash trained, she has an e-collar on, and he was saying that the leash was for the dog's protection because there's poison ivy and stuff around. And I was like, I don't let her off the trails ever. I pretty much correct her if she goes off trail, because that is where you get fleas and ticks, and that's also where they get into bad things. So I told him that, and then I also told him, like, if I come across other people, I call her back to me and she has to stay by my side. And I would never let her approach a stranger, whether it's a human or a dog. And I felt like while I was talking to him, he kind of understood that I was a responsible individual with my dog. And he didn't write me a citation, so I was really glad about that, because I feel like if he wrote me one, I would have been really bummed for the rest of the day. I was really nervous after I had my conversation with him because, you know, after I have a really negative event, I mean, this isn't super negative, but it's a confrontation, and I don't tend to like these interactions. So I was walking back, and I pretty much had Rylai next to me the whole time, just in case he was spying on me from somewhere. Yeah, he just said, you know, next time make sure you bring a leash. And I always feel so disappointed that these laws exist really rigidly. And I say that just for my side, because I understand that given the quality of pet owners that are out there, if dogs were allowed off leash on a trail 100%, then that would be a fucking nightmare. But I feel like it would be pretty neat if I could, I don't know, go somewhere and get a tag that says my dog is fully off-leash trained. Like, I don't know, do some sort of test with strangers, and then I can prove to them that she listens to me. And then I could go on these trails worry-free that I'll be scolded by rangers, even though every time I go hiking, I don't bother anybody else. I don't do anything. I try to keep my distance from people. Going out on these hikes is for me and her to enjoy nature, because we don't really have good access to it in the city, and there's just too many people in the city. So it always really makes me sad that I have her so attentive to me. She listens to me completely. The e-collar is more like assurance, but by now I feel like just by voice, she is really good at listening. Like, for all recalls, every time I say come, it is one time only. The only time I correct on a recall is if she is like kind of taking her time, or if she for a split second puts her attention on something else. So even though she's walking towards me, if she like looks at something else and slows down, that is a correction, because recall tends to be a very firm command that you don't want them to take lightly, because it could be life or death in certain situations. And I was thinking about various other rules. Like, if you think about it, they say that they want dogs on a leash because it supposedly gives you control of the dog, right? But that is never true. Not 100%. There are plenty of owners that have dogs that they don't have control over. And I have better control over my dog without even touching her. So another thing that I thought of, which I don't know if it's stretching it, but I think it's a valid argument, is that there are some trails where you can have horses on them too, right? So horses, I guess our leash for a horse is the rein, but horses are like 10 times the size of a human, so you don't have control of the horse if it doesn't want you to. And I just think it's a weird thing for humans to put a law saying that you have to leash your dog, and then when it comes to this big ass gigantic animal such as a horse, they consider you to have control over it even though you just have reins. So I don't know if that's a valid argument. I think I could probably polish it a little more. I'm sort of rambling right now. I was actually thinking about what I said the other day, though, in terms of reading. And I think that even if I read really slow, I still think it would be cool to have a book to read. So this time, instead of reading on my Kindle, I am going to make an effort to stop by Barnes & Noble's on the way back, and I will pick up 1 to 2 books that I will start reading today. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, quick thing. I totally forgot that there was a minor still going on for Dota. I mean, I knew there was. I just didn't think that there would be any interesting games going on today, but apparently I was talking to James, and he says that there was a really good Secret versus EG series. So I'm actually kind of excited now because now I have some Dota to watch when I get home. I am going to watch that series. I mean, normally it's not that exciting for me to watch a game that isn't live, but whatever, man. I'm gonna watch me some Dota. Live each day like it's your last, 'cause you never feel the moment till it's past. Oh, time just keeps on ticking fast. No, this danger ain't a lesson learned. Slow down before you crash and burn. Okay, it is now 3:20. I lied. I always think that it is too optimistic for me to think that I could spend hours and hours out in these far out places. And I don't know, I feel like that whole ranger situation probably bummed me out a little bit, so it might have been hard for me to just hang around and explore. I stopped by Barnes & Noble's on the way back. It was the first stop I made, and at first I picked up several books, but then I was like, why should I be buying Barnes & Noble's overpriced prices when I can get them off Amazon later? And since there's no guarantee I would stick with a book, I decided to just buy 1 book for now. The thing is, I got this Maria Sharapova's book because it was in the 50% off section, and I have read Rafael Nadal's book also. I didn't read anybody else's, but yeah, so I used to love pro tennis. I went to the US Open a couple years ago by myself. I think the aspect of this book that really intrigued me was I like to read about athletes and their experiences because they work so hard physically, and it is really impressive how much they push their body. And Maria Sharapova just seems like, I've always liked her, so I thought it would be really interesting to read about her. I myself used to be very athletic. I definitely have not played sports in years, but I love sports. I played basketball in middle school. I was on the team. I did not enjoy my experience though, being on the team, because I was the only Chinese, more like the only Asian on the team. It was all white girls, and I felt very isolated. This was way before I decided to be a hermit, so I just didn't like the team atmosphere, didn't feel welcoming, and these were the same girls that would be on the team in high school most likely, so I decided I didn't want to play anymore. But my mom did make me play like all these sports. Soccer, I liked soccer also. I was very quick, so I'm a fast person. I was good at stealing at times, so there goes that. I did swimming. I like ping pong. I like billiards. I like all of that stuff. I just haven't been able to play any of that in forever. But moving on, right after stopping there, I decided to get food. So, I also bought a little bookmark because I need those. Good girl. So I got a candy cookie I have to say that Panera's cookies are really good because they are soft and they're always soft. Like anytime I go to get a cookie from them, it tastes awesome. I hate crunchy cookies. I hate crunchy stuff. Generally, crunchy stuff. I don't like how the cookie just crumbles when you bite into it into all these crumbs. Soft cookies are the best. And then I just had I don't know if you can see it, a half size of the salad that I usually get with the same stuff inside. I'll take it out later. You guys don't need to see the salad. But guess what I had waiting for me at the door today? You're so cute, puppers. I love her. Anyways, so I mentioned in my other video that they were starting to sell out for this boot, and there's just no guarantee that they would be coming out with another line or another boot that had the white and pink theme. So I decided to just jump the gun and buy it, even though it's probably going to be months until I buy a motorcycle. But I need my set. I need my white and pink set to be complete, so I bought it. The first place I bought it from, Revzilla.com, actually called me to say that they didn't have it in stock and they had to cancel my order, so I went to another site, motosport.com. Oh. Okay, let's take a look inside. The thing that I really like about this design is that it looks kind of robotic. So let's take this out, put it on my counter full of other shit. I know I'm in the kitchen, this is weird, right? But I like this kitchen counter, it's very roomy. So let's move this other shit out of the way. Just sweep it away. So, all right, this is what it looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit. This side looks like that. And then here is the front. You know, now that I see it in person, this looks freaking awesome. Time to put it on my foot. Oh, just struggling to put this damn thing on. Okay. It is so cool, I love it. So one major thing though that does suck about wearing thick boots like this is usually the oh man, I forget what everything is called on the bike now, but basically the gear shifter sits right over here. And what usually is nice if you wear thin boots when riding, you can feel it right above your toe, but since these boots are so thick, you don't even feel it. And you kind of just shift by feel and you just trust that it's working, which is fine. I think over time you get used to it. But the thing about these, oh my God, look at this. Sammy fucked me up. But the thing about these boots is that they tend to be very form-fitting, so they're very tight fit, which is good. It's supposed to protect you. Yeah, this fits me perfectly. I mean, I kind of knew that because I had boots by Dainese previously, so I just bought the same size. So yeah, I'm very pleased. Now let's see how long these sit in the closet before I get to wear these out on an actual motorcycle. So I know that this day isn't particularly different than any other day, but that is the life of a dog. I'm sure she has been pretty happy today, and I'm sure she is happy right now, just lying there, no stresses in life. But I am going to be watching the EG Secret series. I don't actually know who wins, so that's good, but I know it goes to game 3, which is pretty cool. So I will probably be watching this for like the next 2 to 3 hours. I hope you guys don't get bored of this backdrop because I like to just put my camera down somewhere and talk to it. That way my hand's not like shaking, and I have very bad upper body strength, so being able to hold the camera without it shaking won't be very long. It's pretty much time for her second meal of the day. And, you know, I'm not necessarily feeling so great. I actually sat down after watching Dota and I read like almost 100 pages of the Maria Sharapova book, and I am really enjoying it. I might even try to make it a goal to read half the book or more than that by the end of the day. But just the whole time I was reading the book, my nose was runny, I was crying, like random watery eyes, or I would have an oncoming sneeze that never came. So kind of sucks. It's definitely preventing me from doing stuff I want to exercise. I mean, even though I went hiking today, which is decent exercise, I still want to do more. But I don't really know if it'll be worth it, because the whole time I will be kind of struggling to breathe properly, and I think that will just ruin the experience. So for now, I should probably try to relax and try to recover or something. I'm out of medicine, but I actually feel like after the first 1 or 2 times that I take medicine, I do notice a change, but then after that, I feel like nothing happens. Like I would take it, but I would not notice any benefit. So I think from here on out, maybe a couple more days and then this will go away, I hope. Yeah, so I will probably watch Time Crimes, which is a Spanish movie. That is my movie of today. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint me. I watched Goodbye Christopher Robin yesterday, and I'm actually really glad that I never went to see that in theaters. That was a movie I was considering watching in theaters, but no, so boring. I don't know. I compare that movie to Saving Mr. Banks, which had Colin Farrell in it, and that movie is good. Emma Roberts, so great. But anyways, I actually probably should have taken a nap earlier. I'm tired, but it is the weekend now, so I can sleep in tomorrow. I can do whatever I want. And I have this baby. She slept on the couch ever since we got back. I mean, long day. We were out for 5 hours, and she was hiking for a good amount of it. So I'd say overall today is a good day. I think I'm going to close out for the night because I'm going to just be reading on the couch or watching a movie. So maybe at most I will probably record my thoughts on the movie if it's worth talking about afterwards. But for this vlog of January 5th, I will end it here and cue a montage of adorable videos from when she was just a puppy. I will warn you though that the quality might not be as good, and there were a few times I recorded in portrait mode, so please forgive me, but enjoy it. Happy birthday to my baby. Come on. Rylai, out. Good girl. Let's keep you inside these rooms. Nope, not in here. Hey. Hi. Hey. Hey. Wow, so much energy. Okay. Oh, okay.
I think seem to just prefer this build compared to most fans who go for the SMY or like the fast blink BKB. So
Goodness.
we'll see. To me it's like a slightly. This hero will still effectively do the same thing as if you went for a different build. It just kind of plays out. The fight can play out a little bit differently because of the armlet toggles. Slightly better like burst damage as well, but you're just a little bit squishier if you're not careful.
Oh, shit. Rylai, come on. Oh, shit. I am so tired. Come on, Rylai. Ah, there we go. Go, come on. That was good. Rylai, that was good. Yes! Good girl! Yes! Yes! Jesus. Jesus. Hi. Come on. Rylai. Hi. Hi. Come here. Come on, pups. Wow, come here.